Right, welcome back, folks. So, psychology and getting scammed still, even though that I'm profitable. So, let's cover the getting scammed still, even though I'm profitable first. These lines here replicate the gold price on a 1 hour. The yellow line is an FCA regulated broker. The blue line is a non regulated broker that will have higher spreads, fees, and nobody to control and dictate and regulate how they conduct themselves. So I found out this the hard way. I may be taking a gold price and taking a buy, and I'm targeting 50 pips. But I was using non regulated brokers and prop firms, and I appreciate most prop firms aren't regulated. And what would happen is I'd take a buy at a certain price, it would hit my take profit on my chart that I'm looking at that's at current price with an FCA regulated broker. But the scumbags out there were running at different prices. So you can see yellow is a current price with an FCA regulated broker, and you can see the difference between a regulated broker and a non regulated broker. And in a nutshell, what that meant was on the real time price of gold, I was hitting take profit, but the broker wasn't reflecting that price. So I was being manipulated. And if you look over here, you look at some of the differences. And we're just doing it on a line graph. And you tend to find it's later on in the day and when the markets reopen. So in the morning, they seem to be up to scratch. But as time goes on through the day, the difference in price gets wider and wider. Now, I struggle with taking a loss because I'm so profitable now. But when it comes to the point that I've taken a loss because these scumbags are not being held accountable to, I had to change. And I lost lots of money. I was making money, really good money, and I was using a broker called Vantage Markets that were absolute scum. When I was losing money, if I was putting 5 grand in a week when I was following signal providers, at the end of the week I wanted to pull a couple £100 out, not a problem, they give it to me. As soon as I started making money from prop firms and depositing those funds into my Vantage account, once I'd grown that to just shy of £100,000, when I wanted to take £2,500, I didn't get my withdrawal. Because they're a pyramid scheme, they rely on affiliate marketers to promote their business on an IB scheme because predominantly 95% of retail traders lose money. So it's in their interest for people to keep punting and gambling, a bit like a bookmaker. The money they take in from the losers covers the winners because there's so few losers. So the first thing that I did to replicate this was I opened a brokerage with a FCA regulated broker. So they don't do IB affiliates and stuff like that. So it's all kosher and above board. If you've got an account, and this one here was IC Markets, who are scum, if you have an account with them, you're overpaying. And your money isn't protected. So I'm now using a company called Admiral who are UK regulated, and your money is kept in a UK high street bank, I believe it's Barclays. So you've got two forms of protection there if anything ever happened to the broker, and they have to pay out. But what I started doing was I would open up an account with Admiral, just a demo account, so say £100,000 account. When I took a trade on my demo account, I was working at real-time prices, right? Because I'm not guessing what the price is due throughout the day. I want to know the exact price of gold. And so I'd place my trade on there, and I'd be entering at the real-time price. I'd be setting my take profit at technically the real-time price that I'm targeting, and the same for the stop loss. But then I'd use a copier trader, so whether it was predominantly prop firm accounts, that trade would just automatically open and close and mirror itself. So on my prop firm, I wouldn't have a set take profit or stop loss. The trade would be placed with my FCA regulated broker. As soon as I opened the trade, a trade would open here. As soon as it closed on there, it closed on there straight away. So the prop firm might be 50 pips below the current gold price, but I've taken 50 pips profit at different prices. And that's gave me an additional edge in the market to be able to say, look, well done, Paddy, you've now eliminated a few more losses. The other thing that I find is it's all about what goes on in the brain. And we have to do everything, well, I certainly do, because I overthink things, to prevent a stop loss. Now, it becomes easier to trade less when you've got more capital. So yes, I tried to hurry a few trades when I was first starting out. Even though I was profitable, I was dipping into the market a little bit when I shouldn't have been. But as time goes by, the more money I made, so I basically buy £50,000 accounts. So I buy £50,000 accounts for around 250 quid. I'm making around £4 grand on that a month, right? And that's over my 4 levels that I trade myself. And so when I get paid after 14 days, I get my 250 quid back. I buy another 50 grand. So that 50 grand becomes 100 grand, right? Once I pass the challenges. That 4 grand turns into 8 grand. But to make that 4 grand, I may only be taking 5-6 trades a month. When you get to the point over the course of a year when you're escalated and having compounded your capital to 4 lots of 50, so you've got 200 grand, that's then roughly 16 grand a month you're making. And those are big life-changing numbers. And I appreciate for lots of people, especially when I was in the position most people were in beforehand, following signals, it's never achievable. But honestly, by educating yourself and being a bit more disciplined and being able to take advantage of prop firms, you're buying 50 grand's worth of capital for 250 quid. Your exposure is very limited. It's £250. Now, obviously, this isn't financial advice. This is just my personal experience of what I do. But it just makes things so much easier. And obviously, if you're an idiot and you blow that £50,000, there's no one knocking on the door after you for it. It's not like a bank loan that you can't afford to repay. It doesn't work like that. So by them being more controlled with having more capital, I'm able to tell myself I don't need that. And so my whole perspective of trading now is diagnosing everything, which takes seconds, 30 seconds tops. It's about the same sort of time to read a text message for me to identify a trade at the top of the hour, because the rules are very simple. But I'll spend another 30 seconds trying to find a reason not to trade it. And that may be high impact news, day of the week, what's going on in the world. I'm quite a political person. I like following politics of America at the moment. It's fantastic. It's 2026. Donald Trump's in power. Brilliant. But yeah, the key to being successful all the time is looking for a reason not to enter the market. So if you used to follow signals, you used to get a rush when you got a signal and you jumped straight in, you're opening your phone like a guy used to be, and not even checking the entry point, just buy, sell. You got to get rid of that. You have to get rid of that. There's a handful of people that I've taught, and the success with this is you're in control. No one else is doing it for you, right? When you teach yourself a strategy or someone teaches you a strategy, you're in control. The only person you have to hold accountable is yourself, not nobody else, right? So if you're getting pissed off, it's because you're doing something wrong. And the way to rectify that is with trading gold, you can go all the way back to 1833. And you can backtest what you're doing. So if you're doing something wrong and you're getting frustrated with yourself, take a breath, stop looking at what the market's doing now, just go back and reassure yourself. Because then if you do start taking a loss, right, on a trade, looking back in time, it's like having that little arm around the shoulder to say, go on, Pads, you're all right, mate, carry on doing what you're doing. It's just one of them, suck it up. And it really is a big game changer. It really, really is. Trading isn't, I don't find difficult. I looking at bigger time frames and zooming out, trading's really simple. The hard part about trading is this. It's the chemicals that go on there telling you you want more, you want more, you want more. That's what holds us back. So there's so many hurdles to get across, But it's really simple. The trouble we have now with hurdles is who the brokers we're using, who's trying to scam us now. We've got to the point where we can prove to ourselves we can be successful. I've ironed out most of these issues now, so I kind of have a free run and it's quite comfortable. So you can always hop into the general chat group, ask any questions. But if you are using these non-regulated brokers, right, usually you can tell by your leverage. Just look at your leverage. If it's over 1 in 30, they're non-regulated. Your money's offshore somewhere, probably Cayman Islands or Hong Kong. Rein it in, get your money out straight away, stop trading and play with demo accounts. Just play. Like anything in life, if you teach yourself and you work at something, you get better at it.